Hi, welcome to Robyn's Roost. Today I want to show you a fun shaker card made using the Bottled Happiness and Vintage Bottle Punch. It's a coordinating bundle that you can purchase, and I absolutely love this little bottle. I'm not usually really keen on cards that get really thick, but this one is well worth the extra postage, let me tell you. Super easy to make too, with this plastic bottle that gives you the adhesive on both sides, so your shaker is super quick to make. No cutting strips of foam or anything. So let's flip the camera and I'll show you how to make it. So here are our basic supplies that we're going to start with. We've got our vintage bottle punch, and I've got the stamps all mounted. Basic stamp set that we're going to be using is the Bottled Happiness, which can be purchased as a bundle with the punch. I've also pulled in a couple of other stamp sets. I've got a greeting for the inside from the Gumball Greeting stamp set, which retires the end of June, and then a couple of watercolor shapes, which I like to kind of add some background colors. And then I am using the Forever Flourishing dies, and we're using these two, some greenery sprigs. And then I needed a punch for the label, and I found a die actually that worked in the Retired Hat Builder. So it's just this little oval die. So you need a small oval die or punch for the label so that it fits on the shaker dome. So then we have the effervescent elements, which are just so cool. They look so pretty in here when you shake it around. We've got our vintage bottle shaker dome. We've got our 2x3 piece of Orchid Oasis. We've got a 3 3/4 by 5-inch piece of basic white, just the regular weight. And then we've got a 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece of the Starry Night for our matting layer, and then a standard card base, the 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. So we can just go ahead and fold that. And set that off to the side because we're not really doing any stamping on that. Actually, let's go ahead, and we don't have any ribbon on this card, so let's go ahead and layer this on right away. And then we can get those out of the way. There, so we're done with that part. Now let's pull in our piece of basic white, and we're going to be using a blending brush and some of the Tahitian Tide. This is just to give it a nice color in the background. Let's see if I got everything on screen. Okay, a little dot off to the side so we don't have a big blur, and we're just going to do this right in the very center of the piece of paper. So we just want to add like a blush of color, work our way from the center out. And you can make that as dark or as light as you want. Actually, well, we have this out here. Let's leave that out, grab our punch, and we're going to simply insert it from the bottom of the paper, center it side to side, and go ahead and punch it out. Now you have that you can use for another card. It's got that pretty blush of Tahitian Tide on it. We'll pull in our little fat jugs here, because we're going to have those on the side, and you're going to kind of put them up just a hair from the bottom so that they look like they're behind this other jug, right? And my ink pad is getting a little bit dry. I need to order the re-inkers. I haven't done that yet. So my bottles are not quite as dark as I'd like them, but they will be fine. So then I'm going to cork them, right? We need to add some corks. So I've got just a little sticky note here. Put that right on the top, and we've got our crushed curry ink. And pull in our little cork. I think this is like one of the cutest parts of this whole set is this little cork. And you can put it in as far or as high as you want, however much cork you want to show. So we're going to cork these. So there are our corks. Then before we move on, we want to take our gray granite and make some speckles in the background. And I forgot to mount this one. The speckled stamp actually comes from the Forever Fern, which matches the dies that we're using. So we'll just go ahead and add some speckles here to the background. Kind of around where the flowers are going to sit. Now this is the super fun part about these shaker die domes. They are so easy to use. So you're going to peel off the top layer. There's glue on both sides. Just to peel off. And then you're going to pop on the piece that you just created. We're going to flip it over. Carefully open our effervescent dots or elements because they can tend to slide around all over, right? So you'll have about the bottom of this full, and I just have a scoop that I have from, I don't know, it was some fancy candy dish that I bought one time. We're going to remove the back one. So now we've removed two of those, right? And we're going to put our little Orchid Oasis piece right over top of that. I love doing it this way because now we don't have effervescent elements flying around all over, right? So then you can see that it's when you stand it up, it's about half full. When you lay it down, they kind of float all over. And I ended up getting ink all over my card. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to pull in our die cuts here to add to our jar. So this one is just going to get put on, might have to nip the end a little bit, but the other one we're going to have to cut the bottom off because it's a little bit too big. So we want just like from here up, and we have to cut a little bit, the branches come together kind of in a couple spots here. Okay, get this all out of the way. So that one's going to go there. Let's nip this off a little bit. So they'll fit right on there like that. And to adhere these, we'll just take some liquid glue. And it's always better to get just a little bit on, not globs, so they don't push over all over the place. Okay, now we have to decorate our bottle. And this is just an old roll of office labels that I have. I wanted it to be thin, and it's a sticker, so this worked really well. And I'm just going to take some Sahara sand, which is like the lightest gray we've got. And then I'm going to go ahead and take one of the watercolor shapes and just stamp that. And then while I've got my Sahara sand out, I'm also going to add another one of the watercolor shapes to the inside with the Sahara sand. So just the square one. And then I'm going to pull in the gray granite again. And we'll do I've got this greeting from the Gumball stamp set. You could find whatever greeting you like. This one says, let's stamp it and then maybe I'll be able to read what it says. May your day be filled with all the best things. And I thought, filled was good with the jar. And then our little stamp for here is from the actual bottled happiness. And it says sending cheer. And then we're going to die cut this with the little oval die from the hat builder. So here we have it cut. And then you can just stick your label on. And then we just have to add our flowers. So I'm using a retired Itty Bitty Accents flower punch. Any like 1/2-inch flower will work, or you could use some of the gems, I can't think of the word, embellishments, the flower embellishments. Okay, so I'm going to do these double. Just kind of give them a little bit of a curve. Bring back in our liquid glue. We're just going to kind of randomly put these on here. One of my gals at stamp class told me that the flowers all had to be on one of the sprigs because they were 2 different plants. But I guess I'm just being kind of weird and putting them all over, not really even on the plants. So put them wherever you think they look good. And then I have some gems somewhere in my vicinity. So I've got 2 different ones. I've got the iridescent rhinestones that I'm going to put kind of in the background. And then I've got some of these in color matte decorative dots. And I've used quite a few of the in colors on here. So I have the Starry Night, the Tempting Turquoise, the Orchid Oasis, the Sweet Sorbet. So I think I'm going to use the Parakeet Party for the centers. And then we will have used all of the in colors on this card as well. So you can see how well they all blend together. Is that the word? Coordinate. That's maybe the word I wanted. I really was not like excited about them when I first saw them. I thought, oh wow, blues and 1 red and a yellow green, but they really do mesh well together. So we'll do that for our flowers. And then we'll add a little bit of sparkle for the background, just kind of randomly here and there, because we have all the sparkle in our jar with the bubbles. We need a little sparkle in the background too. So I think we'll put 3 of those, and it's always good to kind of put them in a like a triangle. So there is our card. Now, if you were a ribbon girl, you could probably add a bit of a bow at the neck of the jar with maybe some baker's twine, one of the in colors. And then we've got our inside with some cat hair. So hope you enjoyed this card. Hop on over to my my store. I'll have the link below, and you can purchase the supplies to create this. Thanks for stopping by at the Roost, and have a great day.